All right, hi guys. I'm Ann. I am the Director of Corporate Giving for Niagara Bottling, which is the leading beverage manufacturer in the United States. And I run Niagara Cares, which is the philanthropic division. And we've teamed up with Filament to create an amazing game. We're excited to show it to you. But we focus in our strategy on recycling and on water management and on community health. So we came to Filament Games and asked them to create a game with us and for us around recycling.
And I'm Dan Norton. I'm the Chief Creative Officer at Filament, and I'm one of the founding partners. Filament is a design and development studio in Madison, Wisconsin that focuses exclusively on positive impact games. We've been doing it for 20 years. Thanks, Jennifer. Yeah, 20 years now, and we've just made all sorts of amazing, cool things. And I'm just excited to show what we've got today.
Uh-oh, I turned it off. There we go. So the thing that we were trying to do, we were trying to accomplish is recycling in the United States is pretty rough in terms of the numbers of people that recycle. And it's really important. It was really important for us to educate young people around the world, but also in the U.S. specifically, about why they should recycle, what they should recycle. And since we make a bottled product, it was also really important for us to be good corporate citizens. And the way that we invest our funding is often kind of risk-taking and also fun. So we do a lot of different things around gamification and storytelling. So I'm not going to read all these to you, but we wanted to create an environment where kids learned about recycling, had fun, and also that it was not branded by us, so anyone could pick it up and run with it. Over to you, Dan.
Sure. Okay. How the game came together. I have to not spend 20 minutes on this slide. This is going to be tough. So, Salvage Safari is inside the Roblox game environment and is built, integrated into a robotics engineering platform, robot world platform. And that was a very strange and interesting thing to do. The idea is that, oh, I'm sorry. I can speak more slowly.
Try it again.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the core strategy component and like a thing that Filament's been doing a lot of Roblox work, and Roblox is such a terrifying and fascinating environment to work in. And what we really saw is an opportunity to take a really strong component of community momentum and play that we had with this robotics platform and integrate in a new mission to that game and bring Roblox players, which while we'll call them fickle, while Roblox players are fickle, they're also extremely flexible. They're open to a wide variety of different types of experiences. So we thought we could use the context of this world about engineering thinking and robotics and integrate a really cool cycle of mechanics to think about recycling and circular economy. And since our game is already built as a platform with like a diverse set of activities, kind of just fit in and let us continue the momentum of the project with the users and culture we had already been having such great luck building, and just take us even further.
I think what I loved about it was the world is a robot world, but it's a sports arena. And so you build these robots and you can do all these things in the sports arena. And if you see the upper corner there, we built what we affectionately call the donut around it, which is basically if you go to a sports game, you're going to be drinking and eating hot dogs and popcorn and whatever. You're going to throw that probably somewhere. It's going to go somewhere where we don't want it to go. So we launched last year with the beach environment, which is sort of level 1, and we've moved on this year to the park environment, and that's almost, I think, completely built out. And the third is kind of like a desert biosphere, so they get increasing difficulties, and you have to go, there's crafting stations, you have to go get a better robot, you have to figure out how all these different challenges. So we like the idea that it kind of mimicked something that happened in life, and then there's these, you basically, it's like I don't want to say shooting, but it's a shooting, like a launching game.
I
There
call
you
it a
go.
murder game.
No, it's not a murder game. It's a launching game. So you build these launchers and you're able to launch stuff and collect stuff and craft stuff. So this is, I think I mean, come on, that's so beautiful. The park environment is new and I just launched and it's gorgeous. Although I haven't seen the butterflies yet, but I hear there's butterflies. New trees. So we have had over 713,000 total plays. What I really love is we were trying to figure out, like, okay, at the beginning of the game, we were thinking, what should be our metric? Like, what's our KPI? So we were like, well, let's just be crazy, and let's say we're going to recycle a million waste items. So we're going to recycle or gather a million waste items. We launched in November, and we've already gathered 2.2 million, and it looks like recycling 12.5 tons of plastic. So it just, for us, proves to show that young people want to change the world, that they care about the environment, they also care about having fun, and the game's working. We did 2 other things in collaboration. There's an organization here in New York, if you don't know it and you're a young person, you should. It's called Do Something. And Do Something and Filament partnered together to bring the campaign to their 3 million Gen Z and Gen Alpha users. I highly encourage you to look at it because it's a great platform for young people to change the world. We did an influencer campaign, and during that campaign, we partnered in real life with digital, and that ended up with 90,000 pieces of plastic recycled, which we loved. And then this year, working on a different piece of the collaboration with partnering Filament with Discovery Education, which we can't wait to see roll out because it's going to about 3 million students and about 44,000 teachers with Discovery Education. So none of this stuff is like super expensive either. This is just relationship driven, a little bit of money here and there, but I think the idea of collaboration is really cool, and I'd love to hear how you guys have found it.
Yeah, I think one of the most crazy things about Roblox as an environment is that if you want to make an impact game and reaching a high quantity of users as part of your impact mission statement, Roblox is really kind of top of the list. Like, you could make a really cool game. You can make an amazing game and put it on Steam, and but how are you going to get through that store mechanism to get on top to like really get outreach is, an entire separate world of problems. Like right now, the Roblox marketing algorithm is actually super effective, and I mentioned earlier that Roblox players are fickle, but they are also flexible. Roblox players, they'll open up the app and they'll just see what's new. Like they are just interested in seeing another thing to try. And so it's a really permeable, powerful place to get lots and lots of actual humans touching and playing and being impacted by your game. There's obviously a million other challenges about being on Roblox. I'm not saying it's like an ideal utopia and that everyone should just play Roblox from now on, but yeah, there's you've got to compete with the next stolen Dragon Ball game or a Skibbity Toilet 5,000. It all happens there too, but we've just had tremendous success making what we think are really meaningful, learning objective, impact-driven experiences that get real plays in that environment. And that's just, it's really cool.
I think the one thing that we learned about Roblox was right as we were starting to build our game, Roblox had this huge education strategy, this huge initiative that they were going to do where they were going to open up the game to all these teachers, and then teachers could use it to actually edit and modify in their classrooms, and then they pivoted in like a week, and they shut down all of their education strategies. So I don't know if it was like a new leader, I don't know what the situation was, but I think because of Filament, their reputation, and the care and love that they put into the game, and the impact that they're showing, Roblox and their team are actually matching our advertising dollars, and they're giving us white glove service. So, I mean, not me, you guys, but I think there's, if you think about gaming and how to make change, the best thing to think about is not just the gameplay itself, but how you distribute it, how you partner with people, the relationships that you're building along the way, how you show up to those relationships. You know, all of that stuff really matters, because at the end of the day, they most likely have some power to support your efforts. So, yeah. And that's it. That's weird. The other guy was, unless you have anything else you want to share?
I actually don't. I think that kind of covers it. Although I'm dying to hear if people have more questions about working in Roblox or this experience. Yeah, I would love questions.
I'll take notes. Have questions that you'd like to ask? Want to think about it for a moment? Maybe as game designer or as funder, right?
Yeah.
I feel like Dan deserves at least one question. Could you share if there are ways you approach the game differently because it was on Roblox versus another platform such as mobile or HTML5?
Oh, it's a super great question, too. Yeah, so, okay, what's the real stuff about it? The real stuff is Roblox play cycles are counted in seconds rather than minutes. You're looking at trying to create positive feedback loops that are absolutely as sticky as possible. And one great thing about the Roblox platforms, it's really easy to build super dynamic metrics, like analytics, to capture every step of where players are and when they stick around and when they don't. So you can get really honest about your retention cycles. So that part's great, but yeah, you definitely are looking at an audience that is really interested in pretty quick turnaround on their dopamine, right? They've got a very short investment time before they want that dopamine back. I will say, though, it is worth saying that there are lots of classic little pockets of communities in Roblox of people who play very large, long, slow-form, strange games. Like, Roblox is not locked into that tiny cycle. Roblox is just an engine. Roblox is actually an extremely powerful, dynamic engine. And you can kind of build any type of experience you want. If you want to catch the waves of user expectation and community building, though, you do have to pay attention to those super short play cycles. I think that's probably one of the biggest things. It is hard to think, learning objective games usually measure how long someone's spending in a really great problem is like a measurement of quality, right? Like, oh wow, someone was really, really thinking about this hard for a long time. And that sounds like if you're just a straight up analytics writing Roblox developer, that sounds like the worst possible thing that could be happening. So you do have to figure out where to make your compromises. This game is structured around a really robust sort of set of different types of loops of interaction. There is the simplest game of like, get out there and do a fun thing with your robot, ride it around, get some recycling done, right? These are super simple, fast, rewarding cycles. And then there are longer loops about collecting materials and developing circular economies, and then refining your robot to have it be better at performing its tools. We tried to make nested loops of interaction that can try and get someone in real quick, and then, hey, maybe they want to stick around, and then if they do, then a longer and longer ramp. That is harder than Shrek in the Backrooms, we're still at a disadvantage for instantaneous, zero interaction entertainment. But hey, that's kind of been the field the whole time, right? So, yeah.
I kind of have a question for both of you. When you began the process, and did you know what you wanted specifically before you reached out to Filament, or did you sit down and go through a process, or did you guys do that together after you had the company that you wanted to do that work?
Yeah, in fact, even I would say it was all organic. Even the relationship, Jennifer sitting here, was a conversation about fun theory. I think I was really kind of obsessed with the world is, I still kind of am. The world is like this deep, dark place, and everyone's got climate grief and blah, 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 blah. But there's so much that we can be optimistic about. There's so many people that are doing so many kind things. There's so much fun to be had in the world, wonder, and all of this stuff, right, still exists in this world. And so Jennifer and I are having this kind of conversation, and it ended up with like, hey, why don't we build a game? And I think you guys will hopefully appreciate it because I'm assuming many of you are creators, but my theory in working with creatives is to let them do their best work and not tell them what to do, because ultimately that's how you get the best work. Now, where we added in was what is recyclable and what is not. So, we weren't going to put chip bags are not recyclable, but pizza boxes are. So, and then we had to design robots to like pick up pizza boxes and throw them into something. So, that was the kind of strategic emphasis we put. Filament still walked us through a bit of a process. They're great project managers. They're probably some of the best that I've ever worked with. But the creative is just, we're not game creators.
No, I just didn't know if it's
didn't-
that process, right,
Yeah.
that you go through to figure
It was
out
like
exactly.
a little bit of it, like a mini discovery process is what I would
Yeah.
say. Like try to get into our heads, like what is important to you? What is it about the economy? In fact, we had a completely different idea to begin with, and then we realized we weren't going to do that because it didn't make as much. It wasn't as fun. And then they pitched us on this other idea, and we're like, yeah, this is so much more fun. So,
Good, thank you.
Not as much of a question, but I did want to point out I really appreciate pointing out that you have to let creatives just like kind of do their thing. I mean, it's like and not tell them what to do because it's not like you hire like a plumber and so like, well, I know how to plumb. Like, why you hired a plumber so they could do the plumbing? I mean, not to say that being creative is a similar sort of skill, but like it's kind of the same thing. You hired a creative person to exercise their creativity, not so you could tell them how to do that.
100%, yeah.
I love a lot of the Filament games. I've played Mission to Mars. I work at Roblox. So, but I was really interested, and maybe this can help people think about Roblox as well, about whether I should really have played this already, but I will after this. You leveraged social in this game because, that is what Roblox does. Or was it just a GDM to use Roblox and the physics engine?
Yes. Yeah, so I think that's a great question. And in fact, I think that's another opportunity and challenge with Roblox is that it's very obvious to users which types of games are living or dying. And a lot of that is based on whether there's a community that's creating a cycle of feedback and whether those developers are responding to that feedback. Like, we can see just on our metrics alone that, if we're too long between new updates and feature releases, people start being like, and we're like, no, wait, come back, we got new stuff. So like there's you definitely, you get the opportunity to have a community to dialogue with. But then you also have to have a dialogue with that community. If you don't, your game will become stored on a database somewhere. Yeah. So it is it's a really cool part, right? So I think if you have an outreach impact project and you have a sustainable plan of how to continue development, I guess maybe that's the big difference is that when we're planning Roblox projects, in some ways, release day is sort of the start, right? Kind of in a way. Like it's kind of like you set it out there and now you find out what the real work is. So yeah, it's cool and it's interesting.
Thank you guys so much. It was really a great talk, and I think thank you for asking questions. And let's give them, Ann and Dan, another hand.